Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going deep on something pretty interesting. A program that's tackling some really tough stuff we see in schools.
Yeah, we're talking bullying, aggression, you name it. Even self-harm, unfortunately.
Right. And this program, it's called VisionHeart. They've got this whole approach based on shifting mindsets, moving away from reacting and more toward, being responsive.
And they've got some research and data that seems to show it's really working.
Yeah, the data is pretty compelling. So VisionHeart, they're all about reducing these negative behaviors in schools.
And they work with everybody, the students, parents, staff, even the whole community sometimes.
Pretty comprehensive. But before we get into the how, let's talk about the what. What kind of problems are we even talking about here?
Right, well, VisionHeart lays it all out there.
They don't hold back.
Not at all. And it's a pretty sobering list. I mean, you've got the obvious ones, like classroom disruptions, conflicts between kids.
Bullying, yeah.
Exactly, but then it goes deeper than that.
Oh.
They're addressing things like low self-esteem, anger, even aggression and violence, drugs and alcohol abuse, hate, disrespect for each other. It's a long list.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. It even goes as far as absenteeism, kids not showing up. And then, depression, self-harm, and suicide.
It's heavy stuff.
It really is. And I think what that list shows us is just how connected all these issues are,
Absolutely. It's not like they exist in a vacuum.
No, it all feeds into this negative atmosphere, this climate that can just permeate a school.
A toxic environment, for sure. So how does VisionHeart even begin to address all of that?
Well, their main thing is this multi-phase training program.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So they target everyone I mentioned, like the students, of course.
The parents?
Yeah, and staff, too. And their whole approach is really systematic.
Makes sense.
They've got curriculum they use. They collect data to see how things are going.
Sounds like they've really thought this through.
It really seems like they have. And it just shows that they get it. They know change needs to happen at every level.
I like that. So let's talk about this whole reactionary versus responsive thing.
Yeah.
I think that's really at the heart of what they do.
You're absolutely right. It's the core concept.
But what does that actually look like, in a real school situation? Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say you've got a kid, right, and he's being teased in the hallway.
Ugh, classic.
Yeah, a reactionary response. The kid might lash out, maybe get verbal, maybe even physical.
Yeah, or completely shut down.
Right, just internalize everything, withdraw.
Bottle it all up.
Exactly, but with a responsive mindset, they're equipped to deal with it differently.
So they don't just go with their gut reaction.
It's more than that. They can stop, they can assess what's going on.
And make a better choice.
A more constructive choice, exactly. Maybe they calmly address the kid who's teasing, set some boundaries.
I like that.
Or they go get help, they talk to a teacher or a counselor. They've got options.
So it's about giving them the tools to deal with tough situations, not just reacting, but actually responding in a healthy way.
You got it. And VisionHeart's been putting this to the test at a school called Route 39 Academy.
That's right. The data from Route 39 is what really stood out to me. It's pretty impressive.
It is. So before VisionHeart came in, over 63% of the students were stuck in that reactionary mindset.
A majority.
Yeah. But after the training, that number flipped.
Really?
Almost 80% were choosing VisionHeart strategies when things got tough.
Wow. That's a huge change.
It is. It means they weren't just learning new stuff, they were putting it into practice.
That's what matters, right? Yeah. Applying what they learned.
Absolutely. And you see it even more in the bigger picture. Like the number of kids who said they were being bullied, it went way down.
How much?
At their old schools, it was over 56%. At Route 39, just 3.2%.
That's amazing.
It's a massive difference. And it shows that VisionHeart isn't just changing how individual kids react, it's actually shifting the whole climate of the school.
It's like creating a culture where bullying isn't tolerated.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just a quick fix either.
Right. It sounds like it has staying power.
Exactly. Over 85% of the students said the training helped them know what to do when faced with negativity. And that's because VisionHeart really emphasizes making this sustainable,
So it's not just a one-time thing.
No, they actually train teachers to lead the program.
Smart.
And they make sure parents are involved too.
So it really becomes part of the school culture.
Exactly. It's about long-term change.
I love that. But what about those kids who maybe need a little extra help?
Oh, they've got that covered too. They have these things called turnaround sessions.
What are those like?
They're basically one-on-one sessions for those students who are, at higher risk.
So they get that more individualized attention.
Exactly. It's really tailored guidance for their specific situation.
So overall, VisionHeart takes a multifaceted approach. addressing the needs of the whole school while still providing that targeted support when needed.
You've summarized it perfectly. It's pretty remarkable what they're doing.
I know. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most compelling thing about their approach?
I think for me, it's that focus on empowering the kids. It's not about telling them don't do this, don't do that. It's about actually equipping them, giving them the skills, the mindset to handle tough stuff on their own.
To take control.
Yeah, and it's not just about reacting to adversity. It's about building resilience, becoming more self-aware. It's really powerful stuff.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what if every school had a program like VisionHeart? Could we actually start to see changes beyond the school walls?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it? What kind of ripple effect could that have on our society as a whole?
Now, that is something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive, everyone. Until next time.